So find yourself in a comfortable seated position, and we'll start breathing together. All right. So shoulders away from those ears, feeling long through your spine. And we'll inhale and reach all the way up, filling the lungs. Exhaling, opening, soft shoulders melting away. And try that again. Inhale, reaching up. And exhaling, coming all the way back down. Good. Reaching those arms out to the side. Really feel that stretch, that length from fingertip to fingertip. And then we'll take one arm up, one arm down, arcing up and over into that beautiful side bend, keeping weight through your sitting bone on that side. Reaching, reaching, reaching. And then exhaling, hollowing the belly and reaching on the diagonal. So I'm pulling my core muscles back toward the wall behind me, feeling that oppositional stretch up and over. Good. Come back to sideways position. That's it. And then bring yourself back up. Did we just lose the whole thing? Okay, good. Other side. Inhale, reach up. And exhaling up and over. Feeling that length and that reach. Good. Exhale, scoop and hollow, reaching on that diagonal. Long, long reach. Bringing it back to center. That's it. And then coming back up. Good. Taking the hands now, just doing a few circles, little personal flamenco dance for yourself. And then go the other way, maybe pinkies leading. That's it. Great. And then link your fingers together. Press through the palms of the hands, reaching forward. Feeling that stretch. And then reaching the arms up as far as is comfortable. Gliding the shoulders down as you reach the palms upward. Good. And then just let that go. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Good. Take your head and just do a few turns of the head side to side. Still sitting tall on those sitting bones. Feel the length of your spine. And just testing out your range as you rotate from one side to the other. Good. And then gently bringing your chin towards your chest. Perhaps take the hands toward the back of the head. Not pulling necessarily, but just offering a small bit of easy stretch. Feeling that length through the back of the neck. Good, and then help yourself come back up to vertical, and then open your palms forward and lift your sternum up. Good, and then relax. Good. So we're going to do a little inner thigh stretch before we get going onto our mats today. So I have one leg folded in comfortably here, and then extend the other leg at whatever degree feels comfortable for you. All right. And we're going to just tiptoe forward, so hinging forward so that you feel the stretch through the inner leg. And whatever you can do, as long as you're feeling some stretch, that's the aim. So breathing there. Now try flexing the foot, pulling the toes back, and maybe feeling a deeper stretch. Good. Help yourself walk back up. And then we're going to just pivot. I'm pulling this foot along the inseam, along that leg. And I'm mostly squaring off my pelvis toward that leg here. And we're going to go into a seated hamstring stretch. So you can extend the ankle, point the foot, and then just walk yourself forward. Again, to where you feel stretch through the muscles in the back of the thigh, through the hamstrings. Rather than hunching over like this, think about having energy out through the head and through your tail. So you're kind of hinging with a long spine as you fold forward. Breathing there. And again, if you want a deeper stretch, try pulling the toes back, waking up those calf muscles, still feeling that length through the head and the tail as you hinge forward. Good. And then carefully help yourself up out of that. We're going to rotate now into our pigeon pose. So I'm placing my hands on the floor and I'm rotating, coming up to hands and knees maybe, and then helping that one leg folded this way and the other leg long behind yourself. If you can, sink yourself down into that stretch. You may need to help support yourself with your hands. That's fine. Taking some deep breaths here. Again, the aim here is to feel some stretch through the hip flexors, the front of that leg. And then again, if you can't, open your chest, looking upward, keep the back of the neck long. And then exhale, maybe carefully helping yourself lower if that's comfortable for your hip. Breathing there, pointing that hip down toward the floor. Good. And then help yourself up again. See if you can carefully sit yourself toward the bent leg side and then swing that long leg around, and we'll do our little twist stretch here. So again, try to organize yourself so you're sitting on both sit bones and then pulling the leg across to the opposite shoulder. Lengthen your spine, sit nice and tall, and then we'll spiral rotate through the spine, and then let your hand come down to the floor, deepening that spiral through the spine, pulling that thigh in towards your shoulder, feeling that outer hip stretch as well. Good, and then bring yourself back to the center with the same arm now on the inside of that leg pressing away. Twist the other direction. Deep breaths here, again feeling that lift of your abdominals, maybe getting a little deeper twist. Good, and then coming back to center. Now this stretch may not be for everyone, but if you can try, stacking your knees as best you can here, and everybody's hips are a little differently put together, so this may be more challenging for some. See if you can hinge forward. So we're feeling that deep stretch in all sorts of places in the hips and pelvis there. Again, feeling that length through the head and the tail as you hinge forward. Good, and then lengthen your spine, bring yourself up, and we'll do the whole series on the other side. So extending the other leg out to the side, folding the other one in this way. As we do this inner thigh stretch, be aware of this leg. Try not to let it roll in. So you want to keep that knee more or less pointing up to the ceiling. Let's pause our palm, our hands forward, just walking out, feeling that inner thigh stretch. Again, do the best you can with what you've got. Take some deep breaths there. Feeling stretch, hopefully, through these inner thigh muscles here. And then let your hands help you walk yourself back up. And then we're going to turn and pivot. So again, placing the sole of the foot like a little tree pose here, but on the inside of that long leg. Hips more or less squared up with your shoulders this way. And again, hinging forward. Waking up the muscles in the back of the leg. Lengthen your spine. That's it. With each exhale, you might find that you can deepen a little farther. If you can, if you want, you can flex that foot. Feel that energy reaching through the heel, waking up the calf muscles here as well as those hamstrings. Hinging and breathing here. Good, and then soften that, help yourself back up. And now we rotate over into our pigeon pose. So hands on the floor. You can start with one knee here and then bringing that shin forward. And then help yourself slide back to where you feel some stretch. Not only in the hip flexors here, but in the rotators, the glutes as well of the front leg. So settling in, and every side may feel different to you. So we're going to lift the chest, inhale, and if you can, help yourself forward. Deepening into that stretch, long reach to that back leg. Good. And again, support yourself with your hands, lift your chest. Good. And then carefully set yourself over toward that bent leg side, sweep your pigeon tail around, and let's cross it in the front. There you go. And we're pulling that knee across to the opposite shoulder. Feel, again, length through your spine. And then we'll open and spiral away from that thigh. Once you're in that twist, you can let your hand rest toward the floor. Continue to really feel that lift through your center and then practicing deep breaths. Challenging that breath in that rotation, little internal organ massage as you twist. Good. And let's unwind. Same arm as leg on the inside of that thigh, pushing away. And again, spiraling the opposite direction. Soften your shoulders. Good. And then bring yourself back together. And again, do the best you can here. Stack those knees one on top of the other. And again, if this is painful in your knees whatsoever, don't do. It should really not be about, you shouldn't feel any pain here. You're going to maybe feel the stretch, though, in those hips. So hinging forward. Energy out through the top of the head and out through the tail. Good. And then again, bring yourself back up. Go ahead and extend those legs out in front of yourself. And just kind of give them a little shake, shake, shake. Let them release. Okay? And we're going to work with the feet a little bit more today. So we're going to pull the toes back and flex. And then rolling through the feet to point. See if you can do this with a tall spine. If you need to bend your knees a little bit, that's okay too if your hamstrings are tight. Flexing the feet. And then reaching through to point. And again, slow motion, pulling those toes back, and then rolling through to point. And one more time, rolling through the feet, and then rolling through to point. Good. See if you can do this with one leg out or 1 foot at a time. Little pedal action here. Good for your brain. That's it. One and then the other. Kitty cat paws. Kitties making biscuits, I always say. Good. And then again, pull those toes both back, flex. Energy reaches up, 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 long through the waistline. And again, hinging forward, reaching. Stay on this long diagonal if you can. Energy through the heels, energy through the fingertips and out through the crown of the head. And then point the feet and fold over. Just taking a self-indulgent hamstring stretch there, low back stretch. Deep breaths. And then rolling up through the spine, shoulders dripping away. Good. All right. So now we get into our core work today. And I've got a doozy planned for us today. I'll be kind at first. We're going to start with our my variation of the cardigan roll downs. Imagining you're wearing a cardigan with buttons down the front. We're going to start with fewer buttons and then we'll work up to more buttons, which makes it more challenging. So, as we do this series, it's basically a series of rolling down and then rolling back up, okay? But taking out momentum completely. If this is challenging, you can hold on to your legs for a little extra support, but I encourage you to practice perhaps taking your hands away and just having nothing helping you there. So again, always know that this is an option. So the first thing we're going to do, sitting nice and tall here, we're going to start with 4 buttons. And we're going to take an inhale, exhale, hollow out your abdominals, and roll down to the first little button. And pause. And just hang out here. Shoulders are easy. So far, so good. But then we get to the second button. Inhale, exhale, come a little bit further back. Still scooping and hollowing the belly. Ooh, maybe quivering here, maybe hanging onto those thighs. Inhale, exhale, go down a little bit farther. Pausing, internal earthquake happening. And 4th button, maybe just that chin to chest. And then let your head rest on the floor and relax. Now we're going to come back up. That's the work. Here we go. Big inhale, exhale, scooping up, nodding and looking through those legs. Button number 4. And pause. Now, I might use my hands behind my thighs. Button number 3. Come up a little bit further. Still pulling those abdominals in, making that water wheel in your core work. Inhale, exhale, come up a little higher. Button number 2. fighting gravity, maybe hanging on to those thighs. Inhale, come up a little higher, button number 1. A little easier there. And then stack yourself back up nice and tall, all right? Whew, now let's go for 5 buttons. So we're gonna break it down a little bit further. Inhale, prepare. And button number 1, contract. And pause. Inhale. Exhale, go a little farther. Button number 2. That's it. Inhale. Exhale, go a little deeper. Button number 3. Quiver, quiver. Inhale. Exhale, deeper. Little button number 4. Not on the floor yet. And button number 5, bringing the torso a little further down. And let your head rest. Okay, here we go. Inhale. Notch into chest, button number 5. Finding that scoop, like our hundreds position. And a little higher, button number 4. Maybe hang on to those legs. Inhale. Exhale, button number 3. This is the hardest for me. Inhale. Exhale, button number 2. Still curling, curling, curling. Looking toward that belly button. Exhale, button number 1. Good, and bring yourself all the way back up. Open those knees apart. I encourage you to practice that and going buttons number 6, 7, 8 on your own time. You can enjoy that this weekend. I'm sure you all will. Hinge forward and stretch out through those hips. Good. And then roll yourself back up. Good. You can leave your legs here, put them out in front, whatever feels more comfortable to you. Reach your arms out to the side, and then you're going to wrap and give yourself a hug. So I'm pulling one arm on top, and I'm reaching my fingers to kind of grab a hold of my shoulder blades as best I can, or the outer edges of the shoulder. And then I'm going to notch into chest and stretch and actively pull and widen between the shoulder blades. And then roll my spine back up. And then I'm going to open my arms and lift my heart and feel that stretch through the chest, through the fingers. Good, and let's try the other arm on top. Hug with the other arm on top, that's it. And again, scoop the belly, round forward just a bit, feeling some width across the scapula there. Breathe. And then stack the spine, coming back up. And then opening the arms wide, serving it out. Lift your heart, look up at the sky, shoulders down the back. Good, and then bring yourself back to center. Bend those knees back to parallel. And now without doing the buttons, but think about them as you roll yourself back down. Now you have 20 buttons that you're rolling down. There you go. And unwind. Good. Pull those knees into your chest and give yourself another little squeeze here. Reach your tailbone down to the floor as you feel the length through your axis, through that spine. Good. And then let's take our little stirring. Hands on top of the knees, massaging through the sacrum, through the bony landmarks in the back of the pelvis. A few times one direction. And then reverse a few times the other way. Easy and soft and relaxed through the neck and shoulders as you just let the arms stir around through those femur bones. Good. We'll do another little twist stretch here, of course, reaching your palms together. Slowly open those arms out to your T shape. I like that moment right before you get to the floor where you can feel that energy, that stretch through the nerves running through the arms. Exhale, dissolve, let gravity take over. There you go. Let's take our twist. Knees to the left and head to the right. While you're in that twist, again, think about how as you inhale, your ribs open. You can expand, exhale, you melt deeper into the floor. Try that again. Inhale, trying to reach those deeper lower lobes of the lungs. Exhale, abs scoop, gather yourself back to center. And let's try the other direction. Knees to the right, head to the left. Feeling that reach across the shoulders and chest. And again, being mindful of your breath. Inhale, ribs opening. Three-dimensional breath. Exhale, melt. And try that again. Inhale, inflate. And as you exhale, zip up those abdominals. Bring the pelvis back to your center line. Good. Extend your left leg long on the floor and find that right thigh folded into your chest. Give it a little hug into your center. Good. Now I'm going to hold on to my right knee with my right hand. Keep the left leg long right where it is. We're going to externally rotate or turn that right thigh out and guide it open to the side. So once again, maybe feeling more inner thigh stretch here. If you really wanted to increase the stretch, you could try supporting your leg and extending it, holding it with a long leg. Increasing that lever length will increase your stretch. So whichever works best for you today, keeping it bent or extending it out a little further. And then again, exhale, support yourself by the abdominals, bringing you back to center. And then we're going to take that opposite hand, left hand to the outside of that right knee. And again, take another spiral twist if that feels good for your spine. It does for mine. And a little deeper twist perhaps here. Turning your head opposite from your knee. And again, you could always experiment extending that leg a little straighter, feeling a little deeper stretch through the hamstrings, the outer hip. Good. Go ahead and gather yourself back to the center again. And let's work our hamstring stretch here. So just parallel, lengthening that leg up. Again, taking hands behind the thigh, perhaps behind the calf. Feeling long through both sides, equal through the waistline. And then bringing that leg in deeper towards you. Grab a hold of your pant legs, whatever you need to help bring that leg towards you. Pausing here, bend and flex, folding it in. Take a little inhale. Think about where your femur bone is at this angle. See if you can maintain that angle as you extend through your heel. Waking up again, those calf muscles. Point the foot, maybe get a little deeper. And we'll try it one more time. Bend the knee, flex the foot, fold it in. Again, check in with your neck and head. Make sure everything's calm, cool, and collected upstairs. Exhale, reach through the heel. Good. And then point through the foot, maybe getting a little deeper stretch. And then lengthen that leg all the way down to the floor. Hopefully feeling easy and open through the front of that hip. Let's do the whole sequence on the other side. Fold the left knee in. And again, so right leg is long and reaching on the floor. Left thigh pulling into the chest. Still reaching a little through the tail so you're not curling through the spine there. Let's rotate open and take that left thigh open to the side. I use my elbow on the floor sometimes to prop myself up so it's easier to hold on to that leg. Breathe here. Again, if you'd like, you could try extending the leg straight, feeling a little bit more stretch. And then as you're ready, zip up those abdominals, gather that leg back up, take the opposite hand, so right hand on the outer edge of that left knee, spiraling the knee over. Again, moving to places that feel good, right? Feeling a good stretch. If this is too much, then don't twist as far. Same thing here. So you can turn your head opposite from your knee. If you'd like more stretch, extend that leg perhaps, feeling a little deeper stretch. As you're ready, and scoop, pull back to the middle, and then we'll go into our hamstring stretch. So again, check your waistlines on both sides, and then lengthen that top leg. And then take a hold behind the thigh, behind the calf, whatever you can do. Feeling that deeper stretch. Legs reaching in opposite directions. Good. And then same thing here. We'll bend the knee and flex the foot. That just relaxes those muscles out of that stretch for a moment. Take an inhale. Exhale. Lengthen through the heel, reaching it up. Good. And then point the foot. Getting a little closer perhaps. That's it. And we'll do that one more time. Bend the knee, flex the foot. Easy does it. And then breathing out, reaching through the heel, lengthening through the back of the leg. Reach, point the foot, maybe getting a little closer. and then lengthen long all the way back down again. Good job. Great. Let's do a little bit for the upper body before we wake up again through the abdominals. So we're going to make a little book with your elbows and your hands, a little prayer position right above your face. So I'm just bringing my elbows and my palms together to touch. And you could do this sometimes on along the long roller as well, if you were lying on your back on the roller. Open your arms and your palms in a nice goalpost position, surrendering to the ceiling. And just pause there, perhaps feeling some stretch in different places through the arms, through the shoulders, through the back, perhaps even. Make sure you're not letting your ribs flare open. Keep your abdominal vest buttoned nice and neat. And then fold, bring those arms back together again to close the book. Okay, we'll do this a few times. Opening into that goalpost. Feel that wingspan, that width from elbow to elbow, palms to the ceiling. And then gather and close to come back together. A couple more times. Opening, feeling that width. Again, some nerve stretch through the arms. And exhale, gather, closed. This time we're going to open and stay surrendered. So open again. I'm just hovering above the floor here. And we're going to try our W's and diamonds. Elbows bend downward toward the waistline. So I'm making a little W with my arms, coming narrow. Come back out to that square position. And then reach the fingertips to touch, making a little diamond shape, framing your head. And then come back to that goalpost position. Try this a few more times, working the stability of the torso and letting the arms move freely from that place. And again, work within a range that's comfortable for you. If you need to modify, please do so. Bringing it back to that goalpost one more time. Elbows come narrow, palms still surrendered to the ceiling if you can. And then back out to that goalpost. And then fingertips reaching overhead. Good, and there you go. Once again, stretch your arms all the way out to the sides and then down toward your hips. Great. So we're going to go into our roll up. So now that we've worked our cardigan buttons, we feel that articulation. Again, you can do this with your legs straight. If you need more assistance, bend your knees, place your feet on the floor. Okay, here we go. Reach the arms up toward the ceiling. And then feel those same abdominals, helping with your vest, not popping the ribs as you reach as far overhead as you can. Here we go, rolling up. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, right through those buttons, smooth, peel up, that's it. And then take that hover and reach up and over the legs, feeling that boomerang shape through the body. Inhale here, exhale, lowest abdominals, reach back down, button number 1, 2, 3, etc. As you roll yourself back down, try to relax those thighs as best you can. Right back down your center line and return, arms overhead. We'll do this a few more times. Inhale, the arms up, and exhale, nod and fold, healing up. That's it, and then reaching on that long oppositional pull, belly button reaching away from your nose. And again, scooping and rolling back down. Either legs long or knees bent. That's it. Beautiful. Let's try it again. Inhale, the arms up. And again, exhale, spine like a wheel, rolling right up. Beautiful. This time, as you arrive to the top, waddle your sit bones wider apart and make space for those cheeks. That's it. And then take another stretch forward. Maybe noticing you can go a little deeper than we did earlier today. Maybe it's just a millimeter difference, but that still counts, right? So we'll breathe and stretch there. Good. Nice. And then roll yourself back up nice and tall. Good. I'm going to turn and face you. And this is my variation of the saw that we've been practicing. But bringing either hands to touch your shoulders here. If your shoulders are compromised at all, you can do it like this. Or bringing your hands behind your head, elbows nice and wide. My legs are separated, maybe a little wider than shoulder distance. So we're going to start with just rotation. So we're going to inhale. Let's try exhaling as we rotate. and then inhale, center. Just to mix it up. Other side. Exhale, rotate. And inhale, center. As you're doing this twist, really feel yourself three-dimensionally. I always picture my rib cage like a weather vane on the top of the barn. And I'm rotating. North, south is up and down, and my east to west rotation around from one side to the other. Now, adding something. I'm turning toward my right. And now I'm going to fold my left elbow toward my left knee. So same side, but I'm folding over on that diagonal. Use your abdominals and stack your spine back up, still rotated. And now unwind. Back to the center. Let's try the other side. Spiral rotate and then folding. Now I'm going right elbow toward right knee. Feeling that stretch. Try not to rock the boat and let one cheek come off the floor. Keep both sit bones planted. Roll yourself back up, still rotated, and now unwind. Good. Let's practice this again. Rotate, spiral, and then fold. Elbow toward the knee, keeping both cheeks on the floor. Roll yourself up and unwind. And again, rotate, spiral, twist, and then elbow toward that knee, folding over, energy through the heels. Roll yourself back up. Good, and unwind there, and release the arms back down. Great. Let's move over onto our bellies next. And let's make a pillow with your hands stacked. So you can just rest your forehead on the back of your hands here. And keeping that length through the front of the hips. So again, if you need to double up on your padding underneath your hips with your mat, you can do that. Otherwise, you're set up with your hands supporting the forehead. And we're going to lengthen one leg at a time and reaching long leg, float one leg up off the floor and then lower it back down. Alternating sides, lengthen and reach. Inhale, floating one leg. Keep the back of the leg long so you're feeling those hamstring muscles through the glutes and then the opposite lats as well. Lowering back down. Again, float, lift, inhale, and exhale, float it down. And other side, inhale, float, check in with those shoulders. Can you keep them soft and relaxed here? And exhale, down. Now then, lengthen, reach, floating one leg up. Now bend the knee and flex the foot, folding in, keeping that thigh floating off the floor as best you can. Try not to pucker underneath your hips. Keep that long. Point and extend, lengthen, and then lower it back down. Other side, float, lift, keeping the leg long, thighs off the floor. Flex the foot, bend your knee, kick yourself in the tush, slow motion, feel that thigh stretch. Point, extend, reach, and lower back down. Let's do this once again each side. So again, really try to keep those hip bones pressed into the floor, not letting them lift off. The thigh lifts, not the hip. Bend the knee, flex. As far as you can. Point, extend, reach long. Abs still zipped up to support you. And then lower it down one more time. Lengthen, lift, reach. Bend the knee, flex the foot. Feel that thigh stretch. Hamstrings working. Point, extend, lengthen, stretch it out. And whoo, lower down. Trickier than you would think, right? Bring yourself to hands and knees. So walk yourself in. And we're going to once again practice our little sternum push-ups here. Keep that sense of width across your back to start with. Knees are right underneath the hips and shoulders are right over hands. Belly lifted so you're not the pregnant cat hanging out. Lift your kittens up and in. Here we go. We're going to keep the arms straight, but let your chest sink down through toward the floor, bringing your shoulder blades closer together. And then lift and widen. Feel that open quality across the back. And again, let your chest sink down. And then we're engaging those muscles around the scapula, around the shoulders to lengthen and pull your heart up away from the floor. 2 more times. Lowering down And then press and lift, thinking back of the neck nice and long, energy up through the crown of the head. One more time, lower down. And then press and lift. Now still feeling that support with the low belly, slide your shoulders down away from your ears and curious baby, about to crawl. Open your back, looking forward. So we're working that thoracic and cervical extension here. And then coming back to center. So it's a fairly small movement, especially if this range is limited for you. Slide the shoulders away again, eyes look forward, opening the chest. Make sure you're not just crunching the back of the neck, but really thinking about your heart reaching forward through your arms. Bring it back to center one more time. Inhale, slide the shoulders down, and then lift your eyes, looking forward. Breathe another breath here. Good. And then bring yourself back to center. Now, cat back, hollow and round, beautiful stretch. Feeling that open quality again between the shoulder blades. While you're in this cat back, shift your weight back and forth between your knees and your hands. So I'm just really rocking back and forth as I'm doming my Halloween cat back and forth, emptying and filling weight from the hands and then into the knees and vice versa. Just feeling some different stretch there. Good. All right, then continue to sit closer and closer down toward those heels. Maybe widen your knees a little bit wider apart if that feels better for you. And then if you can, reach your fingers as far forward as possible. If not, you can bring your hands to rest beside you if that's more comfortable for your shoulders. Okay. And wherever you are, settle in. And again, take some deep breaths. As you inhale, inflate, feeling how your back expands through the ribs. And as you exhale it, you just melt and soften. Try that again, inhaling fully and exhaling. Good. And let's bring ourselves back up to hands and knees once again, and then work a little bit of our stability here. So really clear with your all fours position here, shoulders over hands. Once again, practicing that lift of the heart away from the floor. We're going to take opposite fingers and toes. Keep that core connection strong, the energy out through your axis, but slide right fingers, left toes, for example, out along the floor. I'm still connected to the floor. And then without tipping or falling over to one side, belly lifts, hand and toes lift just a bit, becoming a biped instead of a quadruped. Bring it back down and return all fours. Other side, again, trickier than you think. Slide opposite fingers and toes, and then floating and lifting, becoming a pointer dog. That's it. Feel that support through your core. Bring the fingers and toes back home and underneath you, all fours. A couple more times. Lengthen and reach. Be aware of the sides of your waistline, not collapsing to one side. Keep that length. And then float. Challenge your balance. Try not to collapse and arch through the low back. Keep that belly lifted. Lower back down. And other side. Glide and slide. And float, lift. Doesn't have to go very far. Just enough to challenge that coordination, that balance. Good job. Excellent. One more round, cat back. Great. And then again, you can sit back into that child's pose if that works for you. Relaxing the head. Great. All right, let's roll ourselves up and go on to our sides. We'll just do a little bit of work here in our side lying position. Okay. So I'm in my little stacked. Hips are right on top of each other. My knees are bent, my knees are together. And you can lie long on this arm if that's comfortable for you, or prop yourself up on this hand here. Keeping the pelvis in position and my abdominals with me, we're going to work the rotator muscles a bit. We're going to do our clamshells. So we'll do 5 times, keeping our feet on the floor, but hinging the knees lift open without rolling my pelvis backward. And in slow motion, press the thighs together. So I'm hinging and lifting without rocking back. And then closing. So as best you can, we're working to isolate this femur bone, feeling that spiral in the hip joint to open it, and then pressing to close. A couple more times like this. Hinging open, and closing, and again, hinging up, and then closing. Now to make it more exciting, you're going to keep your knees together, keep your feet together, but lift your feet up. And now we'll try 5 more here. And truth be told, all these exercises you could make more exciting if you had a stretchy TheraBand wrapped around your thighs. You could have some resistance to work with. Opening that thigh, that's it, and then slowly closing. And again, creaky clamshell, opening and then closing. And move slowly so you can really feel where those muscles are. I'm feeling them now. That's it. 2 more times, hinging open, good, and close. And 1 more time, hinging open, fighting gravity, and close. Good job. Let the feet come down. Extend your bottom leg and cross the front knee over toward the floor. That's it. And we'll do our open the book stretch. Hands stack one on top of the other. Let your head lie on the floor. Take the top arm and slide it forward past your bottom palm, and then open the book. Let your head roll like a bowling ball as you spiral open. Another glorious twist stretch here. Let your leg release and relax. Again, practice that deep breath. And then reach for the arm again. Gather and close the book to come back down. Very nice. Let's roll around to the other side. Find your other little position, knees bent, hips stacked, shoulders stacked. Lie on the arm this way or prop your head up. There you go. And again, just making sure your hips and shoulders are stacked, knees are together. We'll do 5 with the feet down and 5 with the feet up. Nice and slow. Lifting the knee, hinging open, keeping the belly with you, supported. Slowly press the thighs closed. And again, I often put my hand on my sacrum just to remind myself not to rock back. And then close the knee down. That's it. And breathing always. Open. And exhale, press. 2 more here. Inhale, open, rotating. Feel that spiral through the hip. And close. And again, open. That's it. And close. Then to make it more exciting, lift the feet. And now same idea, hinge, open the knee, and slowly press. And you're right, it is much harder this slow. Opening, and slowly squeeze those thighs together again. But keep the shoulders easy. Open, that's it, and close. A few more times, hinging open, fighting the forces of gravity each time. Last time, hinge it open, woo, and close. Well done. Lower your legs, extend that bottom leg straight, and take the top leg across the body. Go ahead and stack your hands, let your head rest on the floor. Top arm slides past the bottom arm, and then up and over. Let your head roll on the floor. Heavy, heavy noggin. Just open through the shoulders. Breathe through the low back. Relax the throat. Relax the collarbones. Good. And then again, gather and return all the way back down. Good. One of my favorite stretches, you've maybe heard it 2 different names, the figure 4 stretch, or I call it the pretzel stretch. Before we get into that, I'm just thinking ahead. Find yourself on your back with your feet on the floor. And one more articulation for the spine today. We'll do a few bridges before we stretch it out and finish. Inhale, exhale, scoop out those abdominals, and we're going to bridge up. So we're peeling up, Feeling the work through those hamstrings again as we lift. Finding one long line from your knees through your hips to your shoulders. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, slowly lowering down. Now this may feel different after we've done all those rotator exercises. Be careful as we do this again. Exhale, scoop and bridge. That your knees don't want to go apart here. So feel the work of the inner thighs magnetizing, keeping the same distance between the knees as you have between the feet. Take a breath in here. Feel that length through the hips. Exhale, soften down one vertebra at a time. Let's take it one more time. Inhale, exhale, scoop, peel it up, parallel thigh bones, lift up here. Good. And let's pause and stay for 3 deep breaths. Inhale, exhale, feel the abdominal support. Again, inhale and exhale. This time as you inhale, reach the arms up to the ceiling. Link your hands together. Exhale, roll away from your hands, curving through. Feel wide across that upper back. Good job. And release. Good. Hug those knees into your chest. Now we'll take a bigger benefit from this stretch after the hamstrings got a little extra attention. So I'll try to talk us through the best we can here. We're going to take the right ankle and cross it over the left thigh, like you'd be casually sitting in a chair, right? Crossing your leg up and over. Since my right leg is on top, I'm taking my right hand and threading it between the 2 thighs. My left hand is either going to link the hands behind the left thigh or on top of the left shin, whatever works best for you. I find you get a deeper stretch if you can reach your shin here. Now then, pull your thighs towards your chest. Let your head rest on the floor as best you can. And reach your tail down. So I'm pulling my thighs in, but reaching my tailbone away. So you get that oppositional stretch. Breathing deep breaths here. If you want, you can take this right elbow and gently nudge that right thigh open a little bit more for a little deeper stretch experience there. And if you'd like, again, you can take little micro shifts, maybe leaning a little to one side and a little to the other side. So maybe feeling some deeper places of stretch. When you find a good place, hang out there and take some more deep breaths. Excellent. And then carefully help yourself unwind from that pretzel shape, and we'll go to the other side. So again, I'll talk you through it. Take your left ankle on top of your right thigh, or something close to that, right? And then your left hand threads between the 2 legs. Link your fingers behind the right thigh or perhaps on top of the right shin. And guide the thighs in towards your chest as you root your tail downward toward the floor. And go to your happy place. Breathe deep breaths. Try to soften the throat, the collarbones. Again, that left elbow maybe nudges that knee open a little deeper. And then maybe explore a little shift side to side, a little rock one way or the other. Opening up through those rotators, glutes. Good. And then again, when you're ready, help yourself unwind from that. Just extend the legs up to the ceiling as best you can, as long as you can. Take a few ankle circles a few times in each direction. And other way. And then just give your legs a little shake. Just shake it out. Whee! We did it. And rock yourself up to sit. And we'll just take a few deep breaths together again. Maybe feeling a little bit more energized to enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Inhale, reach fully all the way up. And exhale, open. And one more time. Well done, everybody. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale. I'm so grateful for all of you for joining me today. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Thank you so much.